as I always do at the end of each and every chapter, I want to challenge you to show me what you've really learned and how creative you can be. So for the final chapter here in chapter 4, really getting to know your curves, you have one more logo to draw. I will go to File and Open because I've already started an Illustrator file for you. On my desktop, I will find my chapter 4 and the Coca-Cola billboard. Everything is numbered in its proper order. So I'm going to start with number 1. And I want you to draw the Coca-Cola logo. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take a few minutes and I'm going to draw this really quick. Okay, I'm going to zoom in on the C right here. D for default colors. I'll click on my white fill and hit the question mark key. And I'll just start right here. So this will go up and then down. And then we'll go across the bottom, around that turn right there, up the side. I'll put a point on the top, put a point on the side, put a point on the bottom, put a point on the other side of that curve, and back right there. Command key or control key, I can click and maybe shrink that down just to get a better curve right there. Option or alt key, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3 coming out of a sharp turn. There's simultaneously 1, 2, 3. Now I'll come across the bottom of that turn. Now I'll come up the top of that turn. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Option or alt key for a corner. There's 1, there's 2. Option or alt key to end at a corner, and there's 3. Okay, looking good. Always start with the outside edges. So here's a nice corner. There's 1 and 2. Option or alt key. There's 1, 2, 3. If that didn't quite make it, I hold my command or my control key and I just kind of bend that out a little more. There we go. Option or alt key for a corner. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. Option or alt key for a corner. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. 3-point curves. I don't need 7 or 8 points. Option click or alt click for a corner. Shift click for a horizontal edge. Option or alt click for a corner. I'll drag down. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. And I click. Shift click for a horizontal edge. Click for a straight edge. Option or alt key for a corner. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. This is simultaneously 1, 2, 3. This is also simultaneously 1, 2, 3. Boom. Option or alt key for a corner. There's 1. Put 1 point on the side. Put 1 point across the bottom. Put another point on the side. Put another point on the top. Then I'll come down this side. There's 1. There's 2. And there's 3. Option or alt key for a corner. There's 1. There's 2. And there's 3. This is also simultaneously 1, 2, all the way back up there. I'm ending on a corner, so I'm going to hold my option or alt key and there's 3. I don't need a lot of points. I can see I'm off a little bit there, so I hold my Command key on my Mac or Control key on a PC. I'll click there and just bring this down a little bit. Okay, that's looking good. I'm not worried about the openings yet. I need my outer edges. When I have something like this, I can go to my square, my rectangle. I'm going to start right here. Click and drag right to there. That's all I need, because my white arrow is my editing tool. So I take the white arrow, click outside, and then right here on the top edge, not the corners, the top edge, I just lift that up and move it over and create a slanted object like that. Click outside, jump back to my pen tool here. This is a good corner to start from. So there's 1, there's 2 for a short curve. Option or Alt key to start from the corner. There's 1 right here at the top. There's 2 right down the side. There's 3, which is also simultaneously 1 for the next turn, 2 for the next long curve, and 3 coming out of that long curve. That's also 1, 2, 3. I don't need many points for smooth curves. 1, 2, 3, which is also 1 for the next curve, 2, and 3. Here's another long curve. Option or Alt key to start from a corner. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. Option or Alt key to start from a corner. There's 1, and there's 2. This is another long curve. Option or Alt key to start from a corner. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. Option or Alt key to start from a corner. There's 1, and then there's 2 for a short little curve right there at the top. This is also simultaneously 1 to start the long edge down, 2 to come down that long edge, 3 to come down that long edge, which is also simultaneously 1 to start the bottom of the letter C, 2 to come across the bottom of the letter C, 3 to come up the other side of the letter C, which again is simultaneously 1 to start the top edge of that curve, 2 for a long curve, and all the way back down to there. Option or Alt key, because I'm ending at a corner, and I'll drag down and down and down and down, and there is my third 3-point long curve. That is beautiful. Command click on my Mac or Control click on the PC, and I'll do these other letters really quick. Short line for a short curve right there. Option or Alt key to start from a corner. There's 1. Down here, there's 2. Up here, there's 3. Option or Alt key to start from a corner. There's 1. There's 2 on the bottom. There's 3 coming up. Option or Alt key to start from a corner. There's 1. There's 2 on the bottom. And there's 3 going way up. Not a lot of anchor points. That's good. Fewer points make smoother curves. Option or Alt click to start from a corner. Shift click for a straight horizontal edge. Option or Alt key to start from a corner. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. And I drag up for that straight edge. Option or Alt key to start from a corner. Shift click for a horizontal edge. Click for a straight edge right there. Option or Alt key to start from a corner. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3, which is also 1, 2, 3, and I'll come all the way back around. Right there. Option or Alt key to start. There's 1 for a long curve. Second point halfway up the long curve. Third point to end the long curve. Option or Alt key to start. Click and drag for a little bit of a curvature there. Option or Alt key to start. There's 1. And this, I can do parallel points. There's 2 for a long curve. There's 3 for a long curve. Option or Alt key to start from a corner. There's 1. Halfway up. There's 2. Right before a sharp turn, there's 3, which is also simultaneously 1 to start a sharp turn, 2 in the middle of a sharp turn, 3 to come out of a sharp turn. Option or Alt key to start. Very short lines for a very short curve right there. Option or Alt key to start from a corner. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3, which simultaneously is 1 for the next long curve. A point halfway down that long curve, there's 2, and a point at the bottom of the curve, there's 3. Option or Alt key for a corner, there's a short line for a short curve. Now I hold Option or Alt key for a corner. There's 1. 1 at the top is 2. Halfway down the side is 3, which simultaneously is the first curve or point of the next long curve, the second point of that long curve, and all the way up is the third point. Option or Alt key to end at a corner, and I'll drag way up high so I bend that curve right there. I'm going to Command click on my Mac, Control click on a PC, and now I'll do this little shape. So I'll just do 1 point there, 1 point way up there. Just kind of stretch that bar right there. Option or Alt key for a corner. There's 1 at the beginning. I can come all the way down to here. Click and drag and really stretch that line. Option or Alt key to start. Option or Alt key to end on a corner. And this is what I have so far. I have all the outlines of the letters. Now I come in and I do the openings. Okay, so I'll zoom in close. Always start from a corner. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3, which is simultaneously 1, 2, Option or Alt key to end that third point, 3. Okay, I'll do it again. 1, 2 for a short curve. Option or Alt key to start from a corner. There's 1. I'll just drag a long line. 1, 2, Option or Alt key to end at a corner, and there's 3. You don't need a lot of points. I'll hold my space bar and come over here. There's a corner. 1, 2 to come around a sharp turn, which is 1 for the next curve, 2 to come down the side of that curve, 3 at near the bottom. 1, 2, 3 for a sharp turn. I'll come halfway up the side right there. Option or Alt key to end at a corner. Hold my space bar and come across here. And again, 1 at the beginning. Second one coming down the side. Third one going across the bottom, which is simultaneously the first one for the next side of the curve. Halfway up, second one for that side of the curve. Option or Alt key to end at a corner. I'll do the next one here. 1, 2, 3, which again, the next curve is 1, 2, Option or Alt key, 3 to end on a corner. 1, 2 for a short curve. Option or Alt key for a corner. There's 1, long line, 1. Down at the bottom, there's 2. All the way back at the top, Option or Alt key to end at a corner. There's 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I think I just have this last opening of the letter A. 1, 2. Come down the side. This is 1, 2, 3. This is simultaneously 1, 2, 3 for a sharp turn. Come up the side. There's a second point. There's 1, 2, 3. I hold Option or Alt key to end at the corner. Now I can zoom out again. I have everything drawn here. So I'm going to take my black arrow, select everything, fill everything with red. I'm on the fill. Now I need to punch out all the openings. So here is my shape builder tool. I'm going to hold my Option or Alt key for a minus. And while I'm holding Option or Alt, I'm going to keep clicking these openings. If the opening turns white, you did it right, because now you're seeing the white of the paper. Option or Alt click, Option or Alt click, Option or Alt click, Option or Alt click. Once my logo is done, I don't need the black outline anymore, so I click on it, hit the question mark key, and now I've just got, whoops. Oh, I got to be on my black arrow. There we go. Now I click. If you are on your shape builder, you can't actually affect colors. So I got to select it with the black arrow again. Click on the stroke. Then hit the question mark key. There we go. Got a nice, smooth Coca-Cola logo. But that's not what you're going to turn in. I'm going to go to File and Open. And now I have my billboard. Okay. There is my billboard. Well, I don't want to open that in Illustrator because it says it's a Photoshop file. So here's what I'm going to do. In order to finish off this Coca-Cola file, I do the Coca-Cola logo in Illustrator. Then I go to File. Actually, I delete my template. I always forget that. When I'm done tracing, throw away the template. Now I go to File menu, Save As, and I'm going to call this last name, first name, Coca-Cola logo. I want to save it on my desktop as an Illustrator file. And then, to finish off this file, I will close my Illustrator file, and I'll come down and start up Photoshop. Okay, let me just clear all these recent files right here. Back in Photoshop, I will continue the assignment. File menu, Open. Right here in Illustrator, Chapter 4 is my Coca-Cola billboard. See, these are all Photoshop files to finish this off. So I'm going to click on your billboard layout. It's a Photoshop document. There's my layout. I will go to File and Open again. And I have 3 different Coca-Cola Santas. That one, or that one. You pick any one of them you want. I'm going to go with this one. Open. Click and drag with your move tool all the way up. Wait a second. Drop him back in. That's a little bit too small, so Command T on a Mac, that would be Control T on a PC. And I'll drag him up right there. Good enough. I'll hit Enter on my PC or Return on my Mac. And, well, what's he pointing to? I got to have Coca-Cola. So let's go with Santa and turn that off. File menu, open. And even though I'm in Photoshop, I'm going to open my Coca-Cola logo art. Okay, that's not the one I got to open though. Remember, you saved yours to the desktop. That's the Coca-Cola. Okay, so I'm going to take that logo that I saved on the desktop, open it, and Photoshop is going to recognize that is not a Photoshop file. So I want to open it at 300 pixels, electronic color, RGB. I click OK. I take my move tool like everything else. I move it up. Wait a second. Drop it back in. And that's going to look really bad having a red logo on a red background. So first, Command T or Control T to transform. And I'll shrink that down a little bit. Maybe we'll put it right there and put it down right in here. Maybe make it a little smaller. There we go. Right about there. I'll hit Enter or Return to accept the transformation. And you know, that doesn't read too bad, but I want it in white letters. Okay, so what you're going to do is you'll notice on your top layer, you turn off the bottom two eyeballs and all of this is transparency. So on this Coca-Cola logo, right next to the word lock, lock the transparent parts of that layer. You will never be able to paint here. All you have to do is turn on your eyeballs. On your top layer, you're going to hit D for default colors. And then you go to Edit, fill the top layer. You fill it with white. Watch this logo. Boom! Now we can read it. That looks great. I don't need this logo anymore, so I'll close it. Don't need to save it. And the only thing left on our billboard is File and Open. On my desktop is Illustrator Chapter 4, Coca-Cola billboard, and I have a Coca-Cola can. I will open that, drag that photo up, wait a second, and drop it in. We'll put it right there, and then I'll just ditch it behind Santa right there. Of course, that looks really stupid with another Coca-Cola logo right there. So let's just make the can really small. Command T or Control T on a PC. Let's put it right in there. Okay. Hit Enter or Return. There's our billboard, but it doesn't really read like a billboard. So here's the next step. You take your Layers panel in Photoshop, go to the pop-up menu, flatten the image. All of this is now one. I don't need the Coca-Cola can anymore, so I'll close it. And then to finish off this homework file, File menu, Open, and there is your billboard. I'm going to click Open. I don't like this ugly billboard. I want this to be our billboard. So now that I've flattened it, I'm going to drag the whole thing up, wait a second, drop the whole thing in, and I'm going to line up this upper right corner right there on my billboard, right there. Now all I have to do is go to Edit, Transform, and Distort. And I'm going to pull this upper left corner to the upper left corner of the billboard there. I'm going to pull this lower left corner up and now bring it back down into that corner right there. I'll bring this bottom right corner up so I can see and then pull it down into that corner right there. hit enter on a PC or return on a Mac, and this is what I want. This beautifully updated billboard with your beautifully drawn Coca-Cola logo. Awesome. I'm going to buy a 12-pack. All right, we're done with this assignment. File menu, save a copy, because now we jump back to Photoshop for a minute. Save your final Coca-Cola file as a JPEG. We just had to use Illustrator to create our logo. On my desktop, last name, first name, Coca-Cola billboard. As a JPEG, save it. Always high quality or 8. And that's how you can bring Illustrator files back into Photoshop. I'll close this up. Don't need to save it. And you can do whatever you want, but we don't need this flat billboard. Don't need to save it. This is the one I want you to turn in. So good luck. I need to quench my thirst. Give me a billboard that I can be inspired to go out and buy lots of sugary soda. All right, looking forward to seeing what you come up with.